Howdy. Here we are with another tier list video because we're going through all the paths in the game and ranking the characters accordingly on the tier list because I'm bored and why the hell not? So, hunt path. Characters of the path of that is the hunt. Yes, words. We are going to be including Archer at the end. I'm not going to spoil too much about him. I just want to give a brief summary of what I think he is on a scale of power. Now, starting off with 4-star Dan Heng. He is not quite D tier. He's got some value, but he's a C tier. He'd be like a C minus. He does not scale well. He's got issues, but he is a starting character, so there's not really a problem with that. He's just someone you'll use as you begin the game. I don't really know what else to say about him. Su Sheng. I love Su Sheng. I have to be honest. I almost want to put her in A tier. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. People are going to disagree with me, but I put Su Sheng in A tier. I am a raging Su Sheng simp, and let me just say she's way stronger than people give her credit for. A super break Su Sheng can deal with quite a few bosses very effectively. Like the Adventurine boss, be it in Memory of Chaos or Apocalyptic Shadow, she can pulverize that guy. Or Hule, she can clear Hule easily with a super break set. Now, I'm not really a fan of crit Su Sheng. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. It's just okay, but she's got a lot of synergy with Super Break, and you definitely want her to E6, but that's not that hard to do. For her light cone, you would want to get the 4-star light cone. I think it's called like In the Shadow. At S5, it's basically a slightly, ever so slightly worse version of Boot Hill's light cone. It just doesn't have the def ignore. Or you could get Boot Hill's light cone, which is just better. And then you have her base kit where you get extra speed when an enemy on the field becomes weakness broken. Her E6 lets you get 2 stacks of that and you start the battle with 1 stack. At max level, at level 12, it's a 21% speed bonus, which means that 2 stacks has 42% speed. Her E1 makes it so that when you use a skill on a weakness broken enemy, it refunds the skill points. So she is mega skill point friendly. Very, very, very juicy. She's very delicious. I like playing her. Plus the full action advance on using her ults means more damage and more toughness damage, so you can break the enemy pretty fast. Her main downside would be that she's a hunt character, so she's single target, whereas you could use someone like Rappa, who can also, she's good in single target and then godlike in AoE, but that doesn't mean that Su Sheng's not good. Yanqing. I feel like if I have Yanqing in D tier, then it's only fair to have Dan Heng in D tier because he's definitely D tier. I don't know. You know, maybe we will put Dan Heng down in B tier or D tier. Yanqing's got too many issues. He just sucks. He doesn't have the damage. He's got RNG involved with getting a follow-up attack. He literally just outright cannot take damage or he's fucked. You lose his buff. He's got mega diluted crit value, just not good multipliers. His own light cone is fucking dog shit. He is not a good character. Unless you really like him, don't build him or play him or get him or anything. Next is Sealy. Sealy is an A tier character as well. I think she's better than what your average player can get out of her. You see a lot of people that can make use of her pretty damn good against the right bosses in different YouTube videos, but most people aren't going to put in the effort to build her that well and to think about, you know, the amount of effort you have to put in mentally to make her work, whereas you could just brain dead play someone like the Herta instead. But Sealy's still a fairly strong character, and when she inevitably gets buffed, she's probably going to be meta. I could see her being a very top of meta character, but right now I'd say A tier is pretty solid. And her having her extra action after killing an enemy, the fact that she gets an extra action instead of action advance is pretty huge, so the buffs don't run out, and she just takes a crap ton of turns. Next, we have the pain of Topaz. See, Topaz is A tier, but it's hard to justify her being A tier when she's not worth pulling. We're gonna leave her in A tier because she is A tier, but she does lose a lot of value because of Hunt March 7th's mere existence. Topaz is good, but having to switch which enemy you have the debuff on, if it's on the wrong enemy or the enemy dies and it moves, or you need to move it and it only being on one enemy, it can be really annoying. She's got decent personal damage, but nothing crazy. She's skill point positive or negative or neutral, kind of really depends on the situation. She's got a good E light cone, and E1 for debuff counts for like a doctor ratio team, but they're also just not that insane anymore. They're not bad. Like her light cone's really good and it will work on most hunt characters, but I don't really think Topaz is worth getting in this day and age. Next is Dr. Ratio. I also put him in A tier because, I mean, if he wasn't quite a single target and Fei Xiao didn't exist, he would be an S tier character. Like, he's top of A tier. He's really good, but Fei Xiao does exist, and that is a bit of a yowzas. Though he's got really solid damage, very solid damage, very fun to play, and I like playing him and his character significantly more than Fei Xiao. I don't really care much for Fei Xiao. He's very juicy. We got him for free if you logged on during the time when he was given out. If you didn't, sad face. His light cone is extremely strong. He's got decent eidolons, just an all-around great character to play. And because he can put his ult targeting thing where he throws a follow-up attack on a certain enemy, on a different enemy than where you're hitting with your skill. Sorry, but whoa. Hopefully I remember to cut that. Because you can put his debuff for the enemy to take an attack from his ult, right? You know, you hit the enemy with his ult and then he throws a follow-up attack because your teammates attacked him. You can put that on one enemy while he does a skill attack on another, giving him more than just single target damage, right? It is single target the attacks themselves, but he doesn't have to focus solely on one enemy at a time, which gives him more versatility than someone like Su Sheng, for example. Next is Boot Hill. Boot Hill. See, he really depends, all right? Like, Boot Hill can be a B tier character, but Boot Hill can also be an S tier character. He's very dependent on a lot of things, on your teammates and how you play him and the enemies and the situation, the game mode, because in something like Pure Fiction, you know, he's got issues because he's single target. He also needs to be able to build up his bullets or whatever. And that's kind of annoying when you have to break enemies. If you have Fugue, though, Fugue makes it much easier. You can get 2 of his stacks from one enemy, which means you can get it much faster instead of having to get it's either his E1 or his E2 that gives you the extra stack. His light cone is something he really wants, because if you don't have that or the in the shadow light cone, he's, you know, there isn't really any other options. I guess that does apply to Su Sheng too, but he's really strong with single target damage. He is probably the biggest nuke character in the game as far as like damage per screenshot. He can probably get the biggest damage in a single number, and he decimates bosses like Hule, but generally speaking, he doesn't have a lot of value. But I do think he's really fun to play and he's really cool. So we like Boot Hill a lot. We'll put him in A tier. Next we have Hunt March 7th, who is A tier and completely invalidates the existence of Topaz. I have my Hunt March 7th with the Herta Shop light cone on her. I have Topaz with her signature light cone. My Topaz is built better, substantially better than my Hunt March 7th, and I still can get much easier clears, way more comfortable clears with like slightly faster clears with my March 7th over my Topaz. She's just so easy to play. She's extremely skill point positive, very good personal damage, some versatility with like who you buff with her thing. She can copy your teammates' elemental damage type to break toughness, so you can break toughness bars way easier. She's just so damn good and versatile, and she gives a bunch of buffs to your teammate, like speed and crit damage and stuff. She's just so good, and she's free 99. Why would you ever pull Topaz unless you really liked her character when Hunt March 7th exists? There's just no reason. Topaz, I regret pulling her because of that. It was not worth getting her. I never even use her anymore because March 7th is just so much better to play. Next we have Fei Xiao. Fei Xiao is S tier solely because she's just the best follow-up attack character. Honestly though, I almost want to put her in A tier. Maybe she'd be like an S-, okay? Because we're not really in a single target meta anymore in pretty much any game mode, and she also really wants the follow-up attack team. Hunt March 7th or Topaz, all right, because March 7th works there, that makes it easier, but she really wants Robin and Adventuring. the difference is night and day. As someone that has Fei Xiao and I don't have Adventuring or Robin, it's painful. It's very painful. She's all right. I mean, she used to be crazy, but she just does not scale incredibly well, mostly because she's single target oriented and she doesn't have a whole lot of future potential because she's kind of already got her basically best team, right? Adventuring, very likely he never gets power crept in the follow-up team. Robin probably never going to get power crept in the follow-up team. And then the last slot, which would be either Topaz or March 7th. And now that slot could get a slight upgrade with the upcoming Cypher, maybe, but it's not going to be like a huge increase if it is an increase, and still the team has issues. But I suppose we'll leave her in S tier for now. Though she does have a crazy good E2, like ridiculously good E2. One of the top 3 best Eidolons in the game. Next is Moza. I put him in A tier. Very strong character and really fun to play. Really cool design. I like him a lot. I like his character a lot. And he's pretty strong. His main issue is that we have Hunt March 7th. So it's kind of like, do I really need to try to get him to E6 when I can just use my free E6 March 7th? If it wasn't for her existence, Moza would be way better than he is, right? By default. He would make Topaz invalidate her existence. Still though, very, very good character. And I mean, you know, I guess that's kind of all there is to say about him. Next, we have the last character, actually. And this one, again, I'm not going to spoil too much about them. But as it stands, from what it looks like in the betas, the leaks, you know, Archer is going to be crazy strong. Possibly even like double S tier level DPS, okay? He's really, 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 really good. Massive nuking potential. Big PP damage. Not going to say anything else about him though for now. That's going to do it though. Look, we don't have anybody in C or B tier right now. A lot of the Hunt characters are just, you know, they're pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this list, I'd say. If you have any thoughts, leave them in the comments down below. Remember, it's a tier list. It's subjective, not objective. Don't get all salty, okay? Relax, bro. Relax. Anyways, that's it. Adios.